Many are upset over the Jake Paul and Mike Tyson fight, with some people claiming that it was rigged because many people bet a lot of money and they lost a lot of money. Allegedly, there's this script that got leaked showing how the fight was supposed to go down between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul.
Jake Paul and Mike Tyson are being sued for orchestrating what many are calling the biggest scam in recent boxing history. Fans waited 6 long months for what was promised to be a legendary fight, only to be served a scripted, disappointing spectacle. While there may be reasons behind it, the truth remains. What was the point of hyping up this event so intensely if it ultimately delivered nothing of substance? Not only did you waste time, money, and energy, but you also toyed with the emotions of millions of boxing fans.
The Jake Paul, Mike Tyson fight.
Interesting.
Script.
How so? What do you mean by
It's just
script?
weird. It just...
Like scripted in what way?
No, I don't know. I actually really like Jake Paul. It just seems so... It's odd, bro.
The timing. It's a timing.
I mean,
He
it's
fights
obviously
two-
odd.
No, he fights 2 no-names, beats them both.
This disaster is irreparable, and the damage is done. No one will ever believe in a real fight again. It's not just your reputations that are ruined. This has tarnished the entire sport of boxing. Congratulations, you've reached an all-time low, and the sport will suffer the consequences for a long time.
Well, X has spoken. The fight was scripted. Everyone is talking about this on X, and the script was actually leaked on X a few days.
Fans spent millions on this disaster. Pay-per-view sales, sold-out tickets, and sky-high anticipation. What did they get? A fight so fake even WWE fans were unimpressed, saying they'd seen better. Jake strutted away with a $4 million payday. Tyson pocketed $20 million, and the audience was left holding nothing but an empty bag. Just when it couldn't get worse, a leaked script surfaced, revealing round-by-round predictions that were spot on. Surprise! Surprise! Furious fans are now suing, calling it exactly what it was: false advertising at its finest. The deception has shattered trust in the sport, and the backlash is growing.
Reason, and one reason only, and that is the money. He's getting paid so much money to do this, so that tells me he's getting bought. So again, it is sad that someone like Mike Tyson...
Round 1 begins, and we all think, maybe this won't be a total disaster. Tyson comes in with his classic bob and weave, while Paul struts around like he's the second coming of Muhammad Ali. Tyson lands a couple of jabs, and Paul throws a quick combo. But hold on, is this real? Tyson's timing is so off it feels like he's boxing in slow motion. And Paul? He looks like he's just trying not to trip over his own ego. The whole thing feels more like a parody than an actual fight.
Supposed to go down. So round 1 was supposed to go like this. The opening bell rings and Tyson, showing flashes of his old form, immediately stalks forward with his signature bob and weave style. Paul maintains distance, circling the ring cautiously. Tyson lands a few jabs, but Paul's youth shows in his superior ability.
Round 2 begins, and Tyson lands a solid left hook. The crowd erupts, briefly, but then reality sets in. Tyson's energy is already running low, while Paul, full of sugar-fueled enthusiasm, bounces around like it's a schoolyard brawl. It's clear who's still got the energy.
Prime. Round 2. Tyson comes alive, cutting off the ring more effectively. He lands a thunderous left hook to Paul's body that draws a collective gasp from the crowd. Paul weathers the storm, using his reach advantage.
By round 3, Paul's ego is fully inflated. He lands a decent right cross that briefly stuns Tyson, who tries to fight back but looks sluggish, his trademark moves reduced to awkward flails. Meanwhile, Paul struts around like he's just knocked out the ghost of Muhammad Ali, an embarrassing sight for both fighters and the sport.
3. Paul gains confidence, starting to plant his feet more. He lands a sharp right cross that momentarily stuns Tyson. The former champion responds with a vintage combination, but Paul slips most of it.
The grand finale was supposed to be a scripted knockout in round 5, but of course, we didn't get that. Instead, we were stuck with a drawn-out decision win for Jake Paul. Fans in the arena and watching at home must have felt they wasted not only their money but their time. They didn't sign up for amateur hour. They wanted a battle of legends. What they got was a bad high school drama with boxing gloves, an embarrassing farce that left everyone disappointed.
That catches him flush on the chin. Tyson's leg buckle and he drops to the canvas. Then he's out for the count, but Tyson, despite his warrior heart, cannot beat the 10 count. Winner Jake Paul by KO. What?
But let's address the real elephant in the room, Mike Tyson's health. Just months before this circus, Tyson was fighting for his life, undergoing 8 blood transfusions after complications from an ulcer, losing half his blood. And somehow, someone thought, yeah, he's ready to fight. Texas, you deserve a round of applause for setting the bar so low. It's practically underground. Their medical clearance process is a joke. Tyson, who had just lost 25 pounds and was recovering from a near-death experience, was thrown into the ring with a guy half his age. And we're supposed to believe this wasn't a cash grab?
I'm glad to see that because if I hadn't saw that, I would be worried that this fight may not.
Tyson didn't even try to hide it. He straight up admitted, I did it for my bills. Think about that. The man who once ruled boxing reduced to participating in a scripted circus just to cover his expenses. It's tragic. Tyson walked away with $20 million. But at what cost? His legacy? His dignity? It's heartbreaking to see a legend fall so low.
Reason and one reason only, and that is the money. He's getting paid so much money to do this. So that tells me he's getting bought. So again, it is sad that someone like Mike Tyson.
Jake Paul constantly promotes himself as boxing's savior, but in reality, he's turned the sport into a circus with staged rivalries and scripted drama. Meanwhile, Tyson, a fighter who deserved far more respect, was reduced to a mere pawn in Jake's self-serving, ego-driven spectacle.
It's power at all. No. He hit you with one. You gave him the tongue.
Only because the crowd, got turned up.
But let's not give Tyson a free pass here either. This fight wasn't about skill or legacy. It was about money. Jake Paul didn't just fight Tyson. He used him. Tyson became the bait. The legendary name Jake needed to secure another payday, disguised as a legitimate boxing match. It wasn't a competition. It was a blatant cash grab. Dressed up as a historic event, fans spent their hard-earned money on tickets and pay-per-view, expecting an epic clash. What they got instead felt more like a YouTube parody of a real fight. The only thing missing was Jake vlogging mid-round about how he's revolutionizing the sport of boxing.
It seemed like he was just going through the motions, and now we might know why. After the fight happened, everyone all over the sport started debating whether it was all just a cash grab. But can we really?
Then Jake had the audacity to claim, I didn't want to hurt Mike. Please, let's not pretend this was some noble act of restraint. Jake Paul isn't a hero sparing a legend. He's a businessman, milking every drop of Tyson's legacy for profit. And let's be real, Tyson knew exactly what this was. He even admitted he took the fight to pay his bills.
I'm just fighting to take care of my bills, basically. I don't have the stomach for this kind of no more. I'm more conscious of my children and those guys looking at my appearance. I don't have that ferocity. I'm not an animal anymore.
Does that mean we won't see you fight again?
Yeah.
Imagine being the heavyweight champion of the world, a boxing icon, and ending up as a supporting actor in Jake Paul's reality show. It's tragic. The backlash was swift and brutal, with boxing legends like Evander Holyfield and Buster Douglas ripping the fight apart. Holyfield criticized Tyson's poor balance and movement, while Douglas called it a cash grab, disrespecting boxing's integrity. They were right. Tyson, once a force of nature, had become a sluggish shadow of himself. Meanwhile, Jake strutted around as though he'd just redefined the sport.
You know, your friend Mike Tyson tweeted that he almost died over the summer. He said, he had a bunch of blood transfusions, just had to fight to get healthy, and then his performance yesterday against Jake Paul. Just your thoughts on what we saw.
Mike Tyson was right, and I was wrong.
For fans, the entire ordeal was an insult. Pay-per-view outages and Netflix streaming failures only made things worse, turning the experience into a nightmare. You paid top dollar for a fight they promised would be thrilling, only to be stuck staring at buffering screens or, worse, enduring a lackluster performance. It was like ordering a luxury meal and being handed stale fast food. And if the fight itself wasn't disappointing enough, the leaked script made it even worse.
First and foremost, Mike Tyson, it's such an honor. Let's give it up for Mike, bro. He's a legend. He's the
Fans didn't just feel cheated, they felt played. The match unfolded exactly as the script predicted, sparking suspicions it was all choreographed. And honestly, how could anyone think otherwise? This wasn't a fight. It was WWE without the pyrotechnics. Social media exploded, with memes roasting Jake Paul and Mike Tyson flooding every platform. Fans labeled the event boxing's biggest joke, calling out both fighters for staging what many saw as a glorified exhibition. And then came the lawsuits. Bettors who'd placed money on what they believed was a real competition were furious. Who could blame them? Millions were wagered on this circus, and the outcome felt as predictable as a soap opera finale.
Everything, but my kids, to my children, I'm nobody. But that night they're gonna find out their father's very special.
His balance.
Let's zoom out for a moment. This fight wasn't just a letdown. It was a glaring example of everything wrong with modern boxing. Both fans and critics agree. Jake Paul's fights are more about theatrics than talent. He's not a boxer, he's a brand. Watching Tyson struggle in the ring was heartbreaking. The man who once dominated boxing now seemed to be fighting just to survive the next round. It wasn't inspiring, it was simply sad.
Well, X has spoken. The fight was scripted. Everyone is talking about this on X, and the script was actually leaked on X a few days ago.
Here's the harsh truth. Jake Paul and Mike Tyson took $60 million from fans and left them with nothing but regret. Tyson's legacy took a blow, while Jake Paul solidified his status as the king of hype over substance. It was a betrayal. Fans don't ask for much. They want real competition, not a scripted spectacle. If this is the future of boxing, we might as well add theme music and choreographed dance routines. At this point, they're not even trying to hide it anymore.
I think I can handle the situation.
You gonna knock him out?
I think I'm gonna hurt him, yeah.
Tyson's revelation.
At the end of the day, it was a scam. A slap in the face to every fan who believed in it. A mockery of a sport that once had real meaning. Jake Paul and Mike Tyson didn't just fail to deliver. They actively destroyed whatever respect remained for this kind of spectacle. To the fans suing over this mess, good luck. You deserve every penny back and then some. To Jake Paul and Mike Tyson, congratulations, you've officially turned boxing into a parody. Hope the payday was worth it, because the sport sure isn't.